Okay, I haven't made a video in a while because one, I've been busy getting my security license and shit like that, and other shit going, moving into my new home. But uh, I wanted to make a quick video on this bullshit, this Karmelo bullshit. I mean, it's the latest psyop of many. I mean, I'm surprised Truth Virus hasn't done a video on it yet. His channel just got flagged, and he just had to make a new channel, so he hasn't been active lately. But Truth Virus always says the same thing over and over again. But even though, yeah, I mean, I've been watching him and support him since he came on YouTube. But yeah, basically, the bottom line is just talk to Low Key T over the phone real quick about the situation, about what's going on. But I'm a guy like me. I only got 400 something. I don't care about subscribers. I only got 400 something subscribers. I'm shadow banned and shit like that. But I don't give a shit because it's about the message for me. It ain't about money or anything like that. It's about getting the message out. So basically, in my opinion, um, this is just the latest of a side. They always in the news. They always give you these ridiculous stories. Whether even if it was true, it's a story. It's going to have a narrative. It's going to be, oh, do you support in this situation? Do you support the black guy? Do you support the white guy? Do you support the cop? Do you support the citizen? Do you support this and that and the third? And it's just information overload for one, and two, we're only responsible for our actions, not another individual, another man's actions. So I mean, in this particular scenario of this Karmelo situation, I don't know all the details of this bullshit side, but let's say, for example, this did happen. Let's say it's not just complete side. Let's say this did happen. So a white guy approaches a black guy and tells him to leave a ball game, I think for a high school. Okay, of course, I mean, as a sensible person, uh, he or just reacted was immediately pointing out a knife and stabbing dude. Of course not. But I mean, we have white supremacy going on. White supremacy going on. I understand that black men, we're very angry subconsciously, especially if we're non-Uncle Toms. We're very angry. Like Uncle Toms, they turn it inward and on other blacks, and then a lot of non-Uncle Toms, they turn their hatred towards just any white person. The slightest thing, they just fly off the handle. I understand what. I'm not delusional, and I'm not like a dishonest white person, Uncle Tom. I understand that racism and white supremacy is going on, but to flop the handle. But I can't sit there and judge another man's actions without knowing all the details. So I mean, that's what the news wants you to do. They want you to just jump to a rash conclusion on a little bit of information, and then it's like the OJ all over again. Black people on this side and white people on this side. They want that whole narrative all over again. So it's retarded to me. And then when I was doing my security class, it was a black police officer that is he's doing that class as a side hustle, teaches the security class as a side hustle. Because in Florida, you just take it upon yourself to go get your license. So doing the class, this dumb motherfucker is talking about, oh, he's mad at his last name was Thompson. He's mad at if you get these take security class, don't support this motherfucker Thompson. But he's talking about this dumb motherfucker talking about, oh, I don't like First Amendment auditors because they're just going around provoking cops with cameras. For one, they're armed with a camera. The cop is armed with a gun. So what the fuck are they talking about? I mean, Uncle Tom's logic, it doesn't even make any logical sense. It's like, how could you be mad at a person, a private citizen, no matter what their motive is? If he's just filming, according to the bullshit, the Constitution is a con job and hasn't been in effect officially since 1870. But the bullshit of the Constitution says we have the First Amendment to film and express ourselves as long as we're not making threats or just crying wolf about disasters like a fire. We have the right to, speak our mind and film and of course record. You have no right to privacy in public. The old saying goes, you have no right to privacy in public. So as a public servant, we know that's bullshit. Like, just the cops swear an oath to the Constitution. We know that's bullshit. They don't care about anyone except their superiors and doing their jackboot thug job of getting in, harassing and collecting as much as they can. and occasionally killing and murdering. He's mad that the so-called First Amendment auditors, but First Amendment auditors, I understand, but the First Amendment auditors not wrong for the reason that the dumbass pig thinks they're wrong. They're wrong because they're not going to accomplish anything by filming a few jackboot thug government goons on the street, because the SOP of that department of the departments world nationwide and worldwide are not going to change until you take out the Federal Reserve and the top of government. Until you take out the banks and the government, it ain't going to change. This current system, we're not going to reform it. I don't care about vote. Give a fuck what John Felix does. He can film as many punk ass pigs as he want to. His fat ass and film as many punk ass pigs as he want to. Arm Fisherman can go out and he, the guy brought up Arm because we're in Florida. He brought up Arm Fisherman. Now Arm Fisherman, yeah, he is a fool because he's going out there fishing with a AR pistol on his back, and then he knows that modern law enforcement are going to respond and go all ape shit crazy. Which we should just have the right to just freely open carry if you want to. But I don't believe in open carrying. But if you want to, it should be your right. But government, all they want to do is take your rights. So I'm so sick of this shit about these First Amendment auditors are not wrong in terms of they have the right to film whatever, but they think they're gonna accomplish something by filming a few punk ass cops. I mean, let's say, for example, there's 1,000 in Florida, for example. John Felix and Arm Fisherman, he inspires 1,000 silly motherfuckers. Tampa and Miami and Ocala, to film people in these different cities, to film punk ass pigs. How is that going to accomplish anything in the long term? That all they're going to do is just it's probably just going to make things worse, But I want, there's nothing wrong when you're accosted by punk ass pigs. You're pulled over for no reason because there's in Florida there's a speed trap in Waldo and Lottie, for example. And don't get listening to silly motherfuckers like John Felix that said no. I don't care what John Felix said. There's still speed trapping in Waldo and Lottie to this day. Don't listen to a silly motherfucker telling you otherwise. If they pull you over, you're being forced. You're not going up like John Felix and those other they're going up and to a punk ass pig and getting and starting an interaction. When you're just pulled over in your conveyance, in your vehicle, in your private automobile, you're being accosted and you didn't ask for that interaction. So yeah, film them in that interaction. So yeah, that is that's totally different than you going out and seeking them out. But I mean, it's just pathetic and retarded to me because the punk ass police, they're totally wrong. Then you got the First Amendment auditors. They think they're going to accomplish something by filming a few pigs. What is that going to accomplish? It's like the delusion of these white, constitutionalist bozos. They think because some dead slave owners wrote some shit on some piece of paper 300 years ago, that's going to protect you. That protects your rights from corrupt government today. That is it don't even make any sense. How would that even? You weren't there for them to sign the shit. How would that even help you? So some people get caught up in the shit, and I'm so sick of the shit people motherfuckers talking about that coon ass Charleston White. I don't give a fuck what that nigga gotta say. Fuck that nigga. He's a plant. So why the fuck? I don't even care about what this nigga say. So, rest in peace to Mr. Fuller. He was a real one. I don't agree with everything Mr. Fuller said because you don't gotta be white to be a white supremacist, and we don't gotta dance around who's Uncle Tom. A person like Charleston White, that's an Uncle Tom. All black police officers are Uncle Toms. We don't gotta sit there and be like, I wonder if he's Uncle Tom. He's going around speaking bad about black people, all black people, or he became a cop just to harass other black people. I wonder if he's Uncle Tom. Period. We ain't gotta sit there and think about this shit. So, I mean, and then it's just, and so not even OG. I respect OG Silverback. I respect OG Silverback for doing 10 years in the military, 10 years in prison. I respect all that. But sometimes he says some shit that is dude, what are you smoking? because he'll be like, yeah, the C word is real. They're like, dude, what? I mean, it's proven that it's not real. You can catch the flu, and you can get the flu as an older man and die, or whatever. But of course, me, I kept the C word. There is no C word. It's just the flu. So I was sick for a week. I was still active duty military, so active duty army. I was sick for a week and bounced right back because I was only in my late 20s at the time. So it's like, and then of course he don't, he brought the other day, I think a repost. He's like, AIDS the AIDS virus. No, I believe the HIV virus is not real. AIDS syndrome. If you do homosexuality and do drugs, you will get the syndrome called AIDS and die prematurely. Yes, but there is no HIV virus. So it's very simple. But maybe some people just don't understand simple shit. I don't understand. If you can't understand simple shit, like, just shut the fuck up. Like, it's like the flat earth movement. Just shut the. If you don't understand that, why would the God make the moon round and the earth be flat? If you don't understand basic logic, shut the fuck up. But anyway, so it's just, it's a lot of shit is like very simple, and then people just fuck it up. But anyway, and then yeah, I don't give a fuck about if Drew do all this Uncle Tom shit. Like, oh, there's some good cops and shit. I don't want to hear the shit. So I mean, Drew Danger. I mean, I'm sorry for his disease or whatever, but I don't want to hear Uncle Tom shit. Like, dude, give me a break. The truth is extreme. If you can't get on the board with the truth, then you gotta. I can't know what to tell you. You can't talk to me no more. But anyway, so um, another thing. I mean, and then another silly thing I'm gonna talk about real quick, and I'm gonna end this video because it's been 11 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this shit up. But the Daredevil TV show, yeah, originally, and remember, I'm a hardcore Daredevil comic book fan, a hardcore Punisher fan. But Marvel has gone down the dumps. Marvel's fell off. Even the Daredevil TV show on Netflix was not perfect. Okay, Punisher was not I don't give a fuck what people say. Punisher, even in Daredevil, was not perfect. He didn't kill corrupt law enforcement or corrupt political. It was too pussified. It was like Punisher in the comic just killed every corrupt motherfucker he saw originally in the 80s. Like, I don't think people have read like Punisher in the 80s, how hardcore. It's silly, but it's hardcore. He has to deal with the death itself, and it's hardcore. Because it's based on the books, the Executioner books, about an army ranger that goes around killing the mafia and corrupt officials. But the Punisher in the 80s was hardcore. Daredevil in the 80s was hardcore. And that I mean, even whether he's I suspect that guy I think dude is a racist. The Irish guy ranting for vengeance. But even he admitted that Michael Clark Duncan was a better kingpin than Vincent D'Onofrio in the new, because Vincent D'Onofrio was a good kingpin. He was a decent kingpin in the original Netflix show. But this new version, they make him just like a bumbling, I guess it's a Joe Biden parody, because Trump is more cognitive than that, because Trump is silly and getting a little senile, but he's not as, he's a decent political actor. Like, Biden played it like he was, I think Biden was putting on, acting more silly than he actually was, but Biden actually, he hammed it up and actually acted like he's more senile than he actually is. But Biden acts like he doesn't even know where he is. Anyway, but this new Daredevil Born Again, they made it Kingpin became the mayor too damn fast. Why isn't you got corrupt law enforcement going around killing so-called but even law enforcement in real life? How they enforce? They've called law enforcement, but they don't. 99.9 of them don't even know the law of what dead white men wrote on a piece of paper sometime, and then they're just looking to just harass and click on anything. They don't care about going after actually crimes of victims. They only care about writing a ticket over some bullshit little statute. So, see, that's why I hate law enforcement. And also, top of the racist too. I don't give a fuck what other guys say. Well, one time there was a good cop that saved a cat from a tree and helped a black little boy cross the street. I don't, motherfucker, shut the fuck up. It's like, I mean, by that logic, I guess there was a Nazi somewhere in World War II that actually liked black people, and he didn't curb stomp every Jew he saw. I guess during the slavery in the antebellum South, I guess there were white slave owners that treated their slaves right, with respect, and taught them to read and shit, and then raped their. I can't say that, but who gives a fuck? they didn't do R word their damn female slave every fucking night. So it's and the male slaves too, because butt breaking. So it's like I don't want to hear the shit about there's good cops, there's good politicians, and whoop. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so the Daredevil is the show. I mean, the Netflix show wasn't perfect, but the Netflix show was at least pretty dark. And like Daredevil was not on his fighting skill was not on the level. He was decent. He was just like maybe on the level of his fighting skill is like on the level of like a kind of watered down Jean-Claude Van Damme or some shit, because it wasn't like in the comics, man, he is unstoppable in hand-to-hand combat because Punisher can't not defeat Daredevil in hand-to-hand combat. I mean, if he's not going to, if unless Punisher is just going to snipe Daredevil from a distance, like Punisher is not fucking with Daredevil, and Punisher is not fucking with like Bullseye. A Punisher is not fucking with any like the very skilled people like Hawkeye and Bullseye are like better in the comics at with their accuracy than Punisher. Punisher is like good, but he's not on the next level shit. Punisher is kind of like more like Rambo in the comics. Like he just sprays and prays, basically. But he just is so determined, and he has to deal with death. He just most times wins, and because of the plot armor. But yeah, I mean, it's not nowhere near on Punisher Max. And I think the best, if you ask me what the best Punisher movie was, it probably would be number one be Thomas Jane, number two be Warzone, number three would be John Bernthal, and then number four be Dolph Lundgren. Not that Dolph Lundgren is a good actor, it's just the writing was not. They didn't give him the skull in the Dolph Lundgren '89 movie that didn't even get major release in '89 before I was even born. It came out in '89, 2 years before I was even born, and then he didn't even have the skull. They made him a cop. He's not military. Or if he was military, they didn't make that shit clear. And they made it just like it was like a bland cop revenge story. And Punisher was not. He had the sadness in his eyes. He made it cool Punisher quotes. He killed a few people, but it wasn't like true Punisher, because Punisher is just like he doesn't bargain with criminals or corrupt officials at all. If you're corrupt in the old school '80s, he didn't talk to all this new Punisher where he just like, if you cops admire me, I'm mad at you. Don't admire me. No, motherfucker, like he would just shoot them corrupt cops in the head. That's Punisher. So it's like, no, this is not the true Punisher. Is not in the comics. They just totally emasculated Punisher. In the comics, they somewhat they've made it where I think in the recent comics they made it where Daredevil, of course, the modern term is called woke, but I even hate to use that term because it's not woke. It's just left wing feminist Nazism. So make it where Elektra takes over Daredevil, or Daredevil grows a beard, and then it's like, come on, just give us Daredevil in the classic red suit, kicking ass. That's all we want to do. And he doesn't. He beats the shit out of criminals. He doesn't kill them because he's a Catholic technically, but it's always made me laugh when a Catholic says they don't believe in killing, because has in the Catholic Church killed tons of people and they have molested tons of children and whatever. So. And then Elektra, Frank Miller, I like most of this stuff, but Frank Miller, I don't like Elektra that much as a character. Period. Jennifer Garner looked like the character from the 2003 movie. The Asian chick, she looks nothing like Elektra. I don't know where they got this. I guess she was just a decent looking Asian chick they picked up that was willing to do the role for cheap, because she looks nothing like Elektra. She has a French accent because she's like a French Vietnamese chick, which are dime a dozen. So I don't know where they got this chick from. She looks nothing like Elektra. So I'm one of those people, like those casting Nazis too, because I'm like, why don't you just make it look like the comic, silly motherfuckers? Why you got to make it look like, oh, let's make her Asian because she works with the hand in the comics. Elektra's Greek, not Asian. And then it's like, Michael Clark Duncan, though, is in 2003. I gotta say, he was the biggest actor at the time that could have played that part. I don't know who else could have got in 2003 that was that damn big. And then Vincent D'Onofrio is good casting. He's tall. He's a decent actor. He's a pretty good character actor. I mean, he's been in a ton of shows. I mean, all the way back to Men in Black. I mean, he's been in a ton of shit. First popular role was Full Metal Jacket. playing the fat Marine that goes crazy. But he's a good actor. It's just if he's given bad material, he can't. An actor has to act out that bad material, and making him act like a buffoon in some of the scenes is pathetic. Making it where Punisher doesn't just come out and just start mowing down corrupt cops and corrupt officials. It's like Punisher's sitting there with a beard, um, in a little like hideout he has in New York, and he's just sitting there. He has a bunch of guns on the wall. He has a beard. He's just sitting there. What is he doing? Jacking off? Like the fuck? You can't just give us Punisher just mowing down corrupt cops and corrupt politicians. Like make it okay. Don't he can't. And that's the only thing. Even the main Marvel thing universe 616, they can never have Punishers kill Kingpin because Kingpin is such a cool villain. But let him kill those corrupt the blatantly corrupt cops. Like, of course, Marvel doesn't have the balls to make it where they show cops as just all corrupt, but the blatantly corrupt little core of cops that Kingpin has in the Boring Again show, Punisher should have already mowed down those fools. And Punisher should have already like tried to take out Bullseye multiple times. So I'm like, and then Bullseye, they don't make it like Bullseye would like and they would never put Bullseye. You know, this is a comic book. You know, they would never put a former FBI guy in Gen Pop because he's a former jackboot. So why would he? You know, it's just like this show is just has so many things going on wrong, and then the whole pandering to making the black character that Daredevil defended and Matt defended as his lawyer persona. The guy blatantly stole some shit, and then he was thrown in jail. It's like, yeah, he blatantly did wrong. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when cops just go and harass people, is what they do. They go and harass people, or you call the cops for something legitimate, and they just turn on the person that called them. That's what I'm talking about. When you didn't do anything wrong. If you blatantly just stole shit, even though I understand the racism and supremacy is like over us and shit, you can't just. I'm not gonna. They give you a guy that you can't root for because he blatantly stole some Cheetos. That's some stupid shit. So yeah, so the show is just trying to pander. The show is trying to be all this. You're trying to pander to blacks and trying to pander to certain. Trying to pander. I mean, soon they're going to pander to gays and queers and shit like that. It's going to be pathetic. So anyway, made this shit long enough. Quick video. Hopefully this uploaded to YouTube, but I don't give a fuck if it don't. All right, peace the fuck out.